I know I'm running a little behind from when I normally try to get these reviews out, but don't fry me for it. Andor, episode 8. One of these days I'll actually like double check whatever the latest episode of Andor was, and yeah, show's still good. I almost feel like these reviews are getting slightly boring because the show's still good. And by the nature of its narrative, it's not built to have like huge, massive reveals or things that really drive conversation. It's just designed to tell a story paced out properly, and it's a good story. And that's what I'm getting. But, there aren't really like, ooh, that big moment in X episode. That doesn't really happen too much here. That said, there's a few things to talk about. First of all, Andy Serkis showed up. I likes me some Andy Serkis, whether he is playing someone not particularly likable or he's turning on the charm or somehow managing to do a little bit of both when he's playing somebody like Claw from the MCU. But it was good to see him here. I even before he got his close up, the instant he started moving, I was like, height, voice, I know who that is. And so I like that. The depiction of the prison system that Cassian has been put into, it's well done. It's harrowing. And one thing that like really sort of hammered home the situation that he's in is when he was told that the food supplement that only only has taste added to it if you make top numbers for your productivity, they can have as much as they want because they should be healthy and strong to do the work better. It's such a stereotype of, starve your prisoners and work them to death. Well, yeah, you can do that, but if you're actually trying to get useful labor out of them, maybe that's not the best thing. That said, it wouldn't shock me. I could see it being a thing, partly because I could see it being a thing that an actual fascist government would do, but I could see it being a thing where they no longer get unlimited supplies because they just plan to throw more people into the prison. So if somebody drops dead, round up some more. We don't need to keep them as healthy as we used to. We'll see if that actually happens. I'm not actually calling that as a prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised. The mentality, the state of fear, and like the fear being a major thing that is keeping people in line. And yes, like there's the actual threat of violence, but it is largely using fear to get this population to police itself. That's also a tactic that is not unique to fascism, but fits because by its nature, fascism is, especially as it starts to really flex its power, is generally not popular. But if you can get people to be afraid enough of you, you don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to sink the resources into personally monitoring everything. You can use fear to get people to police themselves. It's what happened in Germany in the lead up to World War II. People were so paranoid about what their neighbor might be doing that the population basically spied on itself and kept itself in line because the fear of stepping out of line and being spotted by the neighbors you don't trust anymore did a lot of the work. So we're kind of seeing that a little bit here with this prison setup. And again, this show is showing a very good understanding of not only the practicalities and the failings of this kind of system, because like I said in an earlier review, everybody's miserable. It doesn't matter whether you're part of the system or are directly under its boot heel. Everyone is miserable. Some in different ways, and definitely some have it noticeably worse, but nobody's happy. We're finally getting it looks like a setup for some actual use of the I still think of him as the weasel turd, the deputy inspector or whatever he was from the planet that we started out on, as he gets sort of grilled and really tries to push himself as being an asset to the Imperial officer who's really starting to dig into things, and she's intimidating. And like, she's a bureaucrat, but it's her understanding of the bureaucracy and her ability to navigate it and to find where things don't line up and to follow that trail and uncover people who are trying to stay hidden. That is what kind of makes her scary. I dig it. We get a little bit of Saw Gerrera in this, which is nice. I like Forrest Whitaker in general, so it was good for that. Not sure I've got too much else to say. They are bringing back more of the older characters than I expected them to. I had actually kind of thought that once Andor was off that planet that he started on, that the show wouldn't really have a reason to go back there, but it has. And a reason that works and makes sense and contributes to the narrative. But I had actually kind of assumed, oh, well, we won't see those folks again, but we are getting them. So that's cool. If there's one thing about the prison setup that, and this didn't occur to me until about halfway into the episode, but there was one thing about it that made me go, huh. It's a little weird to me that they're all human. Just because I'm used to seeing aliens in Star Wars. And not that I expected every single one of them to be aliens, but, just one in the mix, I'd have thought. I don't know. It feels like an odd omission. And like, to be clear, there's plenty of Star Wars related material that sort of cites the precedent that amongst its many things, the Empire is also racist or speciesist, I guess, towards non-humans. And that's not something that is really specifically manifested in the film series. It might have showed up in some of the shows I haven't watched, like Clone Wars or something. Well, no, it wouldn't, because the Empire is not established there yet. But you get the idea. But I know it's part of it because I've seen it. Well, I saw it come up in Star Wars role-playing system, so I know it's there. So I would have thought that they would toss some decently strong aliens in there. It's not like a plot hole or anything, just aesthetically for Star Wars to have a room with that many characters and none of them are, it's a room of that many characters. None of them are Imperials themselves, and they're all human. I don't know. It was a little odd. That's kind of all I've got, though, because, like I said, in a way, it becomes difficult to talk about something that is not only good, but continues to be good in the same way, episode over episode. And I don't know. I feel like I don't contribute a lot just saying the same stuff is good over and over again, but it is. This show's real good. Andor, what'd you think of the latest episode? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon's what pays the bills, allows me to do this as my living. Even if you can't help me out that way, like, share, subscribe are a big help as well. But what I really want you to do is just relax. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We take an easygoing attitude around here, so you can come on back next time you need a break. All right, time to thank my highest supporting patrons: Robin Moore, Zubin Lutfullah, Tarak, the thing that goes doink in the anime, Oliver B., Melinda Walters, Emu Delkey, Leotha Boyd, Toy Loli, Becky Sparks, Phrenobulax, The Poodle, Zach, Bookworm, Tracy Scrabbit, Angry Casperol, Adam R.D.L. Taylor, Shayla Gourlay, Brendan LaRose, and TT. Thank you for your support. If you want to hear me try and say your name while this little guy tries to chew on my earrings, well, you can check out the Patreon for the support tiers that get you a shout out. Thanks so much. You are a pain in my butt.